Well, welcome back. And today we have a couple folks here. They're going to be first talking about a specific class that's coming up. And also then we're going to get into some other events as well. I'd like to welcome William Arceo. He is the recreation coordinator. He is downstairs in the community center and oversees a lot of the classes. And I'd like to welcome one of the instructors of the class Guided Autobiography Writing class. She's done this a few times here over the years, and this is Sherry Coleman. Welcome.
Thank you.
So let's talk first. Welcome to you too, William. Let's first talk about your role here. Okay. You're downstairs in the office of the community center, and yes, you are over the years we've had different people doing the same position you do, but talk about where you slot in here.
So I am the recreation coordinator downstairs. Recently I've taken the role of class coordinator, so I'm here with Sherry kind of sharing her upcoming class, but I'm also in charge of several other classes we have coming up. And something I kind of wanted to touch upon is how residents are able to learn about the different classes we have being offered here. So through, for example, Sherry's class, how you can find out about classes like Guided Autobiography class. So we have a recreation pamphlet that comes out every month called the Recreation Events and Activities pamphlet. So we have a March edition, which is available at all the clubhouses at the moment. You can find it online on the website, lagunawoodsvillage.com. You can also find out about different classes through, there's a weekly e-blast, so to speak, that you can sign up for online through our village website. Okay. So that's kind of wanted to touch upon with first.
All right. Now let's talk about this upcoming class, and it's really a series of classes, right, Sherry?
Yes. Yes.
It takes place over several weeks, and it begins on March 21st. It's going to be Thursdays from 6:30 to 9, the 21st of March to May 9th. However, if you want to find out about it and decide if it's right for you, there is going to be a preview, which will be next week on the 14th.
Correct, yes. I like to do a preview on this because this is really, I want to make sure that people really are invested in coming to this class, because it is a process, it's a commitment for 8 weeks. And I want people to know what it is and what it is not, so that they can really make an informed decision on if this is something that they want to participate in.
All right, well, why don't you tell us here what it is and,
and what it isn't. Well, Guided Autobiography is actually a process that was started by Dr. James Beeren, who was a pretty renowned gerontologist up at USC and UCLA. And this is a process he found of helping people write their life stories, one major life theme at a time. Okay. So it's a very doable, enjoyable process. There's a lot of reminiscing, there's a lot of life reflection, and then there's writing, and then there's sharing, and there's feedback in it. It's a great, great process, and people who go through it sometimes say it's just like the best thing that they've done. Everybody kind of knows they have a story to tell, that they really should be sharing these things with the world, with future generations, but most people don't know how to get started, and it just seems overwhelming. So this is a very doable, fun, enjoyable process to get those life stories written and then shared.
I can see where it would be very, very daunting in many different ways. One, trying to go back decades, and the other part is there might be parts of your life that would be very hard to share. Other people may be pun intended, an open book.
Right.
But a lot of people probably have certain types of memories and things that are very important and very pivotal in their life, but have kept for the most part private or within just their realm of close family members.
Absolutely. And a lot of people will come and it will be on their heart to write that story, because it is such an important story, even if it's a traumatic story. But they write it and they share it, and then that's part of the beauty of this group process as well, is that people come in thinking maybe their story is too dark or too unique or too strange, but then they're in this group after a few weeks where people really start sharing some of their most intimate, important moments in life, and people realize we're all like that. We all have stories like that. And the group becomes incredibly bonded because they have heard and shared these really important life moments with one another and through story. And so it's kind of magical what happens.
Well, I could also see just the opposite of that. People saying, well, my life is not, there's nothing really special about it or different. Why do I need to talk about it?
It's true. A lot of people will come into my class and they'll say, you know, my life's been boring, it's been ordinary. And I laugh because I've never heard, of all these years, I've never heard an ordinary story. We think our life story is ordinary because we've lived it. It's what we know. But when other people hear it, it gives you a different perspective on what you've been through and what you've survived and what you've learned through the years.
Right.
And that, again, that's part of this group magic that happens when we share that, is you get to see your life through other people's eyes. And it's very enlightening and very fun.
So at the end of this, what do you wind up with? Is it a written story? Is it a book? Is it just a few paragraphs, or different for everyone?
It's different for everyone. We do the first session. We do 8 weeks, and we do 8 major life themes.
Okay.
If people want to go on, many groups want to go on, and so we have parts 2, 3, and 4 as well. So people can write as many as 30, 40 stories. And a lot of people do end up putting them in a book. Matter of fact, I'm sending one to print today for a Laguna Woods resident here. And they're beautiful, and people are so proud of these books when they get done. It's like, oh my gosh, I actually did this. And we do it by writing just 2 pages a week.
Okay.
So it's not an overwhelming, it's a doable process, it's an enjoyable process. It's hard, it can be hard, you have to do the work. Yeah. But it's worthwhile. Some people, some people just write it, some people want to share it with their children. I've seen people put it within scrapbooks and photos, others publish it. Some people actually will go on and want to do a video with it, maybe read their stories. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to share it and capture it.
And I think the fact that you're saying you just do it a couple pages at a time is far less daunting.
Yeah. And when you do it in a group, and you're accountable every week to do it, you have to write to come to class. So you have the accountability, and then you have the encouragement of your group. And then there's a lot of information and exercises and things to really help you get there. Yeah, very good. So it's fun. If people want to learn more about this, I would really, as you said, this is a commitment. Yes. And it's $149 for 8 classes. So to make sure that it's right for you, really go to the free preview, which is going to be Thursday, March 14th at 6:30. All the classes, as well as the preview, will take place in the Pine Room here in the Community Center. Am I right? Yes. So really, I think that's the way to go. And then from there, of course, if you want to sign up, you know this is already for you. You can call the Recreation Department. Yes. Okay, 597-4273 or recreation@vmsinc.org and find out about this and other classes. But I think, really try and make it to next week, the preview for this, and you can find out more in depth what you're going to need and what it's about and the commitment. Yep. Very good. Yes. Nice to have you on and meet you. Thank you. William, we'll see you again. Take care. Yes. All right, Sherry. All right, nice to meet you. Appreciate it. We'll be back.